Hi guys, welcome back to Casual Watch Review channel. I've invited my friend Justin back on. Thanks for joining us, mate.
What's up, Sam? What's up, everyone?
So believe it or not, we've been making content for, I think, the last 6 months on Tudor and Rolex. And that's when you started your Hot Horology business, the Discord group. Now you've got 6 months worth of people requesting watches, people buying watches, people selling watches. I want to get your review on the market in general. Are there any models that are soft on price? Let's just sort of talk through that. So first of all, let's give a quick update. How's the last 6 months been going?
The last 6 months have been great. To be honest, I would have never thought we would have made it this far and how fast we've grown, which is absolutely mind-blowing to me. Thankfully, it's going well. I'm busy every single day. There's always a new project to work on. But we're quietly working behind the scenes to make some big changes, and we've been able to accomplish those ideas.
I think one of the most interesting things with the Discord group, which I don't think this was the original intention of it, but it has turned into quite the knowledge base, because there's some really seasoned collectors, not just Rolex, Seiko collectors on there, Citizen collectors. So was that a surprise to you that you kind of built it and then people came just to talk about watches when originally it was a social sort of buying and selling platform?
I have learned so much from a lot of these guys on there. Obviously, I love watches. I'm not the most technical person when it comes to a lot of these other watches. Bulk of my experience does come from Rolex and Tudor. I've heard of some cool brands I've never heard of. I've learned a lot of history and insights I've never heard before. It's cool because everyone shares that same passion, and we're all learning from each other.
I've got involved in a few interesting discussions on there on various different forums, but usually they police themselves. There's no trolling or anything like that on there, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, unfortunately, there was one person who already got booted, but everyone else is, it's a real space with real people and real collectors. So we try our best to weed out all of the nonsense and just keep that same passion going.
I think one of the other interesting things as well, which I think surprised me, is I thought when you'd start off, there'd be people testing the waters with maybe entry-level watches in the couple of $100 range, just to test it and feel it out. But there's a couple of guys on there that went straight in with the heavy hitters, wasn't there? Some really hard to get Rolex references. Did that surprise you as well?
Definitely. It started from zero. So to get people onto a platform and to trust the platform and who you're buying and selling to, that trust is everything to me. That's literally the backbone of what we are building. Through these conversations, people get to know each other. They get to know their tastes in watches or what they do for work. And then it builds like a real bond, like a real friendship, and they're more likely to buy from each other, I think, because of that.
It is trust-based, isn't it? For the most part, especially some of these high-end pieces. But you've tried to do a vetting process, and how's that been going? How successful has it been, your process, and have you had to change it over time?
The vetting process, it's been trial and error. I do think that we have it down packed now. We are essentially gatekeeping that role because we don't want just anyone to be able to obtain that. There is a pretty stringent vetting process, and we're not approving everyone. However, there is something new that we're rolling out, and I guess we'll talk about that. We haven't rolled it out yet, but it's going to happen, which I think is a really cool process. We're going to create an open marketplace where anyone can post their watches. However, we just add the authentication process into the mix. So anyone can post a watch, but it does have to be authenticated and verified by us. And then from there, the transaction will finish. We'll ship to the client once the seller receives the funds.
eBay really, I think, changed the online watch buying process by having that authentication service. But the way they authenticate them so fast is, especially some like rare and vintage ones, you sort of question like how they can authenticate them so fast. They offer that guarantee, but how are you doing it?
So Francis is a watchmaker of 25 years. He's a second generation watchmaker. He was also my head watchmaker at Rolex. He is one of the best watchmakers in my opinion. I might be a little biased, but he's really good at what he does. and he's worked with so many brands. It's amazing.
What watch trends are you seeing? What watches are coming up for sale the most? And we'll start with that, and then I want to ask you about your feelings on the market now. You've got 6 months in this pre-owned game, whereas obviously before you were in the boutiques and ADs.
Yeah, so we're seeing a little bit of everything, and it blows my mind. I mean, at first we were selling a lot of Rolex, right? But it was surprising to me to see, some guys on there, they're selling Cartier. A Glashütte was sold fairly recently, Tudors, IWCs. I mean, there's everything on there. But I would say a majority is Rolex, but we're starting to see a bunch of different brands, which makes me happy to see.
What feedback are you getting? Because there's a plethora of other online watch stores. Chrono 24, arguably the most famous, but there's dozens of other ones as well, isn't there? There's even those auction ones like Bezel, of course, eBay. So what feedback are you getting from the people that are selling on the group, like why they picked your platform?
That is actually very special to me, right? Because anyone can just go post on one of these bigger platforms. And what's crazy is that a lot of them do, right? Because, that's another thing, we do check to see if they are cross posting on these platforms. When those people are selling them on our platform and they have them listed also on Chrono and eBay, that I think is huge for us, right? Because we're getting real eyeballs, we're getting real people spending money, and those people are searching in the secondary market, but they'd rather buy from us.
You've been getting involved in helping people as well. You've been doing some consultation, whether it be with like buyers or sellers. Did you do that before this forum, or did it just come about the number of people that were asking you on the Discord for help, I guess?
I was doing consultations. I wasn't advertising them, but there was a few that I would get, mainly like pre-purchase consultations or, pre-selling consultations. But recently, since the content that we've done, I've been getting a lot of consultations regarding how to buy a Rolex. And that was actually the most surprising to me, because I tell them that I can't guarantee that you will get a watch. I can just give you my insight and how I would go about buying one in today's market.
You're in the retail world for so long. You were a manager at a Tudor boutique, you're a manager at a Rolex boutique. Now you're on the other side, the pre-owned market side. Is there any interesting insights that you've got now that looking back on your previous career, you had no idea about? Has it changed your opinion on the whole retail experience?
Yeah, what has been surprising to me is I'm definitely mad at myself for not taking this leap sooner. Working retail is fun and all, but reporting to a store every single day, wearing a suit, being all trim and proper, I mean, that's all cool, but I love now how I'm able to essentially do it all online, right? And that's essentially our goal, right? Is to, become one of the number one trading platforms for watches online. Another thing that I would say has been very surprising is the amount of watches that's on the secondary market. There's so many out there. I'm starting to see them being listed and sold and traded on the platform.
Obviously, we've been making a lot of content over the last 6 months about Tudor and about Rolex. There's been a lot of Rolexes being traded on the platform. There's certain models that have surprised me, the frequency that they've come up, but is there any that have been surprising you?
GMTs. We've been selling a lot of GMTs, some of them even slightly newer. We talk about how difficult it is to obtain these watches, but the people are getting them. It's been cool to see.
Oh, this hurts me because that's the one I'm on the list for. Now, with 6 months of the pre-owned market, it's not just Rolexes, is it? You've had a few Pateks. There's watches of all different price ranges on there, even a couple of $100s. But we recently made some content on Rolex solid gold models that the prices seem to be softening or coming down quite a bit on certain models. With the number of Rolexes that are being traded on the platform now, I really wanted to get your insights on, are you seeing the same thing happen with the steel sports models, or are they still quite robust? Is there any that are softening slightly, or is that just wishful thinking on my behalf?
Steel sport watches are still holding strong. New releases are holding strong. Solid gold, I do think that it's falling quite a bit. A lot of those models that we spoke about, you can walk in and you can probably buy one today. For instance, like that Sky Dweller, Oyster Flex is very easy to get. Two-tone, solid gold, I think is a tougher sell. So I think that that's what's forcing people to drop the prices so they can sell them a little bit quicker.
Justin, cheers for that, giving us an update. I've been following it closely, but I definitely recommend, guys, you join the Discord forum. I'm not personally affiliated with it, but I am quite active on there. If you just want to talk watches, it's quite a cool group as well. There's probably over 1,000 members now. So check it out on hot_horology. I'll leave a link to the Discord in the description down below. Also, let us know if there's any other Rolex or Tudor subjects that you want us to cover. I'll invite Justin back on. But Justin, thank you so much for joining us again.
Thanks, everyone. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Casual Watch Reviews. Thanks, guys. Bye.